Ladies, gentlemen, everything in between, and everything out with. Happy New Year. My New Year's resolution is to get these videos out, so yo, what's going on, guys? No more rewrites! Here, back at it with another banger video. In today's video, we're going to be counting down the best songs of 2024, in my opinion. Let's kick the list off with easily one of the most fun pop songs of last year, and that would be Joyride by Kesha. There's just so much going on in this song, whether you're looking at the accordion in the instrumental, the pumping house rhythms, the anthemic chorus with those choir vocals, Joyride, Joyride, even down to the polka influence. There's just so much here, and it all comes together to make this really fun song. Next up on the list, speaking of fun, there weren't many albums more fun than the new Joey Valence and Bray album, and my favourite song from that record was easily No Hands with C-Trip. Just some really solid boom bap inspired, old school inspired hip hop music. If you like your rap to be sample heavy, groovy, funny bars, there's not much better places to go than this song. From the moment those horns kicked in, I knew this would be one of my favorite songs of the year. Um, One of their collaborators is on Fuck Up the Rave by Donatachi. That would be Asia Erotica. There's also a feature from YVNCC. I don't know how to say that name. This song wasn't on Album of the Year for a long time, and I was really annoyed because I wanted to review it. But I am banned from contributing. Please sort that out. Yeah, this song's just ballistic. It's so much fun. You've got this driving, almost hard style influenced instrumental. Asia Erotica's doing her thing in the verses, anthemic chorus about fucking up the rave, and yeah, bish bash bosh, job done, fire song. Number 37 was by a band who I've been meaning to check out for the longest time, but their comeback has really sort of inspired that. And that would be Trial by Fire by The Horrors, just a really anthemic, industrial inspired punk song. Really enjoyable single. All the singles from their upcoming record have been really enjoyable and really versatile, so if you haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend it. Number 36, we've got a nice little ambient piece by an Album of the Year user. That would be Crystalline by Ghost Minus. Just some really nice, beautiful atmosphere work with some groovy percussion in the mix too. It was really nice to see the Album of the Year community do so well in terms of music and acclaim this year. And that carries over to number 35, which will be Crimson by Ace of Thorns. Um, Fuck you, Ace of Thorns, for making me making me have to rewrite my list. Um, but no, their new record is phenomenal. And this song is just exemplary. Um, so much going on here, from the industrial influence to the noise rock influence to the harrowing lyricism. Amazing song. Next up at number 34, we've got another recent inclusion on the list, and that is going to be Shadow Realm by Hi-Tech and Z-Loopers. Um, just some really fun electronic dance music, hip hop fusion on here. Z-Loopers is perfect for that kind of sound with how fun and dynamic he is. Perfect. Number 33, we're going to be going to one of the biggest bangers of the year, and that is going to be Yeah Glow by Glorilla. Female rap has been really strong this year, I think, in terms of popularity and success, which is always really cool to see. And one of my favourite success stories this year has easily been Glorilla. An artist who I've kind of wrote off in the past, but has totally grown on me this year. And this song was a massive part of that. You've got that classic sort of Memphis rap style instrumental, with that acoustic bass line that's just so good. Paired with some really fun flows from Glorilla. Really good song. Speaking of female rappers who had a great year, Tierra Whack returned with one of my favorite albums of the year, and one of my favorite songs on that album. It was hard to narrow down, but it would have to undeniably be Movies. Just a really fun, groovy pop song with a really sort of positive, upbeat feel to it. Really nice work on here. Speaking of really nice work, a song that is easily one of the best manufactured and produced songs of the year, and that's going to be Training Season by Dua Lipa. I found her new record to be a little underwhelming, and a reason of that is because of how much I loved the singles going into it. You obviously had Houdini in 2023 that was really good, but I think this song takes everything that that song does right and steps up to another notch. You've got this wonderful bass line, so much grooves in the instrumental, and just an amazing chorus. It's all you really need to make a fantastic pop song, and yeah, Dua Lipa knew the assignment and achieved it. Into the top 30, we have got Coal Pimp by Denzel Curry, Ty Dolla Sign, and Juicy J. New Denzel Curry album was really nice, and people really liked it, but I think people kind of slept on this song a little bit. You've got one of my favorite beats in rap music all of this year. Denzel comes in on the back end to deliver a fire verse. Ty Dolla Sign absolutely kills the chorus, which is nice to see because I think Ty Dolla Sign's kind of gained a bit of a bad rep due to the Vultures project. So it's really nice to see him sort of outside of that doing well. Juicy J obviously comes in and kills it on the first verse. Just a really nice, fun, upbeat song. She loving it, she loving it, she loving it. Next up, we're gonna have one of the biggest smashes of the year and one of the biggest stories in terms of an artist blowing up, and that's gonna be Please 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 by Sabrina Carpenter. Um, Initially, when I first heard this album singles, I was thinking Espresso was gonna make this list, but each time I listen to this song, new things jump out to me. Whether it's those arpeggiated synths, the catchy ass verses that are almost catchier than the chorus in some ways. Just a really good song. Blends synth pop, country. I don't even need to say this. You've heard it already, but if you haven't listened to it in a while, I implore you to. Next up, we have got Gift Horse by Idols. Um, Idols are a band who I got quite into this year. Just some really interesting experimental art punk stuff, and this song, um, easily the catchiest off their new album. Look at him go. You've got some really interesting political infused lyricism on here, and it's not just the the current rock meta of going, "Ugh, I hate woke people, everyone's trying to cancel me." It's not trying to do that, which I'm really grateful for. It also just smacks really hard. You've got an amazing bass line, these rigid drum loops. It's really good. I believe Kenny Beats, I may be talking out my ass, but I believe Kenny Beats was a part of this album, and you can tell with how raw and grimy yet groovy and fun the production is. Next up, we're gonna have Cosmic by Red Velvet. Not a group I'm super familiar with. I believe they're either a K-pop or J-pop group. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know down in the comments. Just another example like Training Season. All you need for an amazing pop song is a great bass line and a catchy chorus. Really good. It transcends my lack of understanding of the lyrics, and just creates this really nice song. Speaking of really nice, fun, groovy music, we're gonna have Turning Hate into Rage by Boundaries at number 26. Easily one of the best album openers of the year. This song totally electrified me before I even got into the rest of the album. just if you like your metal to be breakdown heavy and very sort of loud, aggressive, and bombastic, this is for you. The lyrics are a bit edgy, but you know, it's like a stupid jump the fuck up song. Who cares? This next song on the list is anything but stupid. It's in fact one of the most nuanced, beautifully written, and wonderfully composed songs of the year, and that is going to be "Darling I" by Tyler the Creator and Tizo Touchdown. Um, so good I'm misspeaking. Just this really beautiful atmosphere, soothing, smooth R&B song here where Tyler goes into his struggles with monogamy and commitment and kind of lays himself bare on here, and it's really nice. And it's also just like really cool to see a topic like that be discussed um, by someone like Tyler the Creator. You know it's a Tyler song. You've got wonderful production, really great composition work on here. Tizo Touchdown comes in with a government mandated performance. No, I'm playing. Absolutely kills it on the background vocals. You know when a song's got Tizo on the background vocals, it's gonna slap. I'm really happy with this, honestly. Number 24, we're going back to the metal, and that is going to be Open Your Eyes by Falling with Scissors. Falling with Scissors were a new band I discovered this year. Really sort of blew up onto the scene with I can't remember the name, with a really good EP earlier this year, sort of blending elements of break beats, metalcore, and emo to this really sort of wild and feral sound. And this song kind of sees that, but amped up to a level of noise that they hadn't gotten to before. Really great song. Next up, we're bringing the noise all the way down with After the First Kiss by Faye Webster. Some really nice sort of folksy indie pop music here. Faye she has such a particular way of writing that I find really potent, and like really relatable, just by how personal it is a lot of the time. Really sort of just lays herself bare and is really open and honest in all of her songs, and I really appreciate that. Just a really good ballad, and it's also really easy and fun to listen to, with how beautiful it is. Speaking of a beautiful, quiet song, we're going to have Life Is by Jessica Pratt in at number 22. Jessica Pratt was another artist I got into this year after meaning to for years now. If you like your chamber folk to be really sort of dreamy and ethereal, Jessica Pratt is totally for you. I believe she was on an A$AP Rocky song earlier this year, so I hope that brings her more attention because she brings something to folk music that very few artists do. And she brings this totally unique flavor to it. You've got this really sort of simple instrumental, and her voice is so quiet but so amazing over it. You've also just got some really nice lyricism. If you want a more sort of rockin', like, oh, let's go song, number 21, My Golden Years by the Lemon Twigs will be far more for you than Life Is. The Lemon Twigs had a really good year in 2023 with their fantastic album, Everything Harmony. Just really good sort of 60s pop rock influenced ballads. But this song sees them take it in like an all out banger direction. You've got these fast drums, this soaring chorus. My golden years. Like, it's crazy. And just, it kicked off the year in such an amazing way. This song, really good. Next up, into the top 20, we're going to have Bird Without Nest featuring Danny Brown by Alice Longyu Gao. I could have picked a number of Alice Longyu Gao songs this year. She's such a versatile artist, yet every single genre she attempts on her brand new EP, she absolutely destroys. This song kind of blends elements of folk and noise pop and a little bit of rock towards the end. Also with an obvious hip hop influence with the Danny Brown feature. Really beautiful lyricism. Alice's voice is wonderful here. Danny Brown kills his verse because it's Danny Brown in 2024. Of course, he kills his verse. I love him. I really do. Really good song. Number 19 sees us go all out weird with The Leader by Dog Race. If you like your goth rock to be insane, I guess, this song's for you. I could have gone with It's the Squeeze, but I listened to this song a little more. To find salvation is a premium. Like, oh, it's beautiful. Well, it's not. It's out there and wacky. Just really cool. If you like cool music, number 18 will also be for you. This year, well, last year now, that's how long it took to do these videos, saw the return of Imogen Heap with What Have You Done to Me, an absolute spectacle of a song. There's just so much going on here. You've got Imogen Heap obviously doing her thing vocally. She's otherworldly as a vocalist, and it's all over this post-industrial instrumental that is absolutely like throbbing, and it goes so hard. Speaking of songs that go so hard, but this one hits hard in a different way. I could have gone with a number of songs from this album too, but it's going to be Real House by Adrian Lenker. Really sort of beautiful country infused folk. Very simple sonically, but lyrically so deeply complex and nuanced. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up the first time I heard this song, and I think that makes enough of a case for it to be on here. Just a really heart-wrenching song from the new Adrian Lenker album. Number 16 is going to be Phantom Island by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Comparatively to other years, this year was a little quiet for them. We only got one album and a single. Only. But it was a very interesting year. Their new record, Flight B741, I think, sort of saw them leaning into rootsy, classic rock sounds, and that I found it to be a cool experiment, even if I wasn't super into it. But I am really into the jam bandy jazz rock sound of this song. So much goes on here. There's almost like disco elements to it at certain points. It's insane. There's so much different sections to this. I really like the bit where the piano goes crazy and it's like dun 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 dun, and it just goes completely into this like cacophony of noise. And the outro, it's a crazy song. Speaking of crazy, we're going to see our second Danny Brown appearance on this list with Me and Mine by Fentanyl, along with Danny Brown. Fentanyl had a really good year this year. I think she released some really unique music for her. After Chaser, it was going to be a very hard EP to top, but I think she has really sort of kept the momentum going into this year. Well, this last year. I hate doing this in January. My brain's like frazzled. This song is a more sort of chill-ish song from Fentanyl, which is saying a lot because it does still go really hard. Danny Brown's verse is pretty much incomprehensible, but like in the best way possible. Fentanyl absolutely kills her parts on here. The breaks are insane. Really good song. Speaking of really good songs, Cecily Falls from the Sky Tower into Hell or Falling Down Part 3 by Moody Bunny and Stomach Book is going to be our number 14. Very much sort of Beach Life and Death-esque power pop here. So many sections and different elements are present here. but it manages to combine them all into a really sort of cohesive, great song. Throughout its really long runtime, I believe it's the longest song on this list. But it doesn't feel it with how fun and dynamic it is. On to number 13, we're going to have June by Skin Theory. Just more jazz rock here, but this one's particularly harrowing. You've got these quivering lead vocals that are almost a little model actress Jushu-esque, from what I've heard from those two bands. But this track takes it into a different direction, with some really groovy jazz rock sections, and a lot of sections packed into a pretty comparatively short song. Album of the Year is just an amazing website. Like, I know I sound like a shill a lot of the time for it, but it has helped me find so many excellent, amazing artists that I wouldn't have before. I really look forward to seeing what this band does next. Also, the member of the band that sent this to me was just so kind, and yeah, I would love for you to listen to this if you haven't already. Give this band some attention because they deserve it. Speaking of someone who got a lot of attention and really deserved it, this year we saw the really sort of massive explosion of Chapel Roan, and I doubt it would have been possible without the success of Good Luck Babe in at number 12. Again, just really well-made pop music. You've heard it. It's got a billion streams. But just there's so much going on here, from the really sort of heartbreaking narrative at the core of the song, when paired with this simple but great instrumental, absolutely soaring chorus with some of the best vocals I've heard from any pop musician in a long time on it. I said, I wrote a really bad review for this song where I said 60s vocally, 80s sonically, and distinctly 2020s in its sentiment, and I think that review was a little on the short end, so I deleted it. But I stand by it. It is just a really great song. If you like your pop, old school, and deeply nuanced in its lyricism, this song is for you. Number 11, we're going to have Why Did I Laugh Anyway by Dev Lemons. Dev is someone who I've Dev is someone who I've really enjoyed music from in the past. I've enjoyed her YouTube videos and stuff. But not to the level of this song. This year, I think she really stepped up her game, which she was already on such a hot streak in 2023, with that wonderful Delusional EP. This song saw her dip into a sound that I didn't know she was capable of doing. She is such a versatile artist. This song sees her go into a bit of a folktronica thing. It's produced by Quedeca. So you can imagine what kind of sound this has to it. Just a really beautiful song. Lyrically, you can feel a lot of emotions through it, even if it's a bit on the vaguer side. And it's just really wonderfully made. You've got this beautiful guitar melody, these beautiful piano chords that come in towards the end. There's so many sections towards the end, whether you're looking at the big explosion of noise in the last chorus, or into the almost sort of R&B-esque groove of the outro. It's a really good song. Number 10, it's very hard to think of anyone who had a better year than the artist in this spot. And I think this song is totally exemplary of what he set out to achieve and ultimately did achieve this year musically. It's going to be Meet the Grahams by Kendrick Lamar. Just a tutorial in how to totally dismantle someone through the power of a song. There's so much anger and resentment that you can feel throughout this song, that really sets it apart from the other tracks in the Beef. You know, even if I found other songs within the Beef to be enjoyable, whether it was the anthem that was Not Like Us, the surprisingly energetic and hungry Family Matters, or even just the insanely quotable Euphoria. None of the tracks within the Beef captured the haunting anger that this song did. You've got this creeping instrumental from The Alchemist that was an absolutely masterful stroke, and creative genius. Just really cool scale work and stuff. Kendrick over which just it's hard to even put it into words what this song makes me feel. It's harrowing, it's angry, it's heartbreaking, it's terrifying. Just an insane song. Totally diabolical at points lyrically too. Really unsettling. And also just really fucking good. And really quotable. Like, I think people underrate the catchiness of this song. Like, I go around quoting this shit. It's good. Number 9, we're going to have a song with a totally different atmosphere, a lot more hopeful, and that's going to be Spring is Coming with a Strawberry in the Mouth by Caroline Polachek. I've seen this song snubbed on so many end of year lists, and I don't know why. Caroline had an amazing 2023, obviously, with Desire I Want to Turn Into You, an album I believe is a perfect 10. And this song came as a single from the expanded edition of Desire I Want to Turn Into You, and it's got a lot of motifs and interpolations from that album, but it also takes things in its own direction. You've got a beautiful chorus. It's a very, well, it's in the title, but it is a very springy song. There's a lot of hope and beauty and serenity in it. But also some edgier moments instrumentally. Like when the instrumental first comes in, like that could be like an old school Tyler the Creator beat or something. But it does then expand into something truly beautiful, and Caroline is just such an amazing artist at doing that. Number 8, I'm going to indulge in a bit of fan behavior right now. It's going to be The Center's Falling Out by Poppy. I loved her new album. And it also got a lot of flowers. I believe it's her most acclaimed album on Album of the Year. This song just does everything I want in a metal song. It kind of blends together a band who are going to be later on in this list, Boundaries and Falling with Scissors, and all into one, into this insanely aggressive and feral and wild song, but it's fantastic. The instrumental from Jordan Fish smacks. Both breakdowns go incredibly hard. Poppy's vocals are on a level I've not heard them before. She's always been good at screaming, but the step up, even from Zig to this album in terms of her screaming, it's insane. Just totally off the wall shit with this song. Number 7, we're going to be going back to the fun, catchy pop songs, and we're going to have Off With Her Tits by Ali X. A song that, from the moment I saw the title, I knew was going to be a banger. But, yeah, it takes a really sort of sad topic in body dysmorphia, and almost like hints of gender dysphoria and something sinister below that as well. And flips it into this funny, witty synth pop banger. You've got this ridiculous bass line throughout the whole song that is so good. The synth work here is incredible, the mixing and mastering. is really good. That sounds really nerdy, but yeah. And easily the highlight of this song is Ali's vocal performance. The vocal runs and peaks that she hits on here are truly amazing. Um, Spectacular stuff. Really, really good. Number 6. Speaking of really, really good, well, in fact, I think all these songs are really, really good, but this song in particular, I think, is really, really, really good. We're gonna have "Don't Reach for Me" by Knocked Loose, easily the best metal song of the year. I don't want to spoil my albums list or anything, but yeah, just totally captures this feeling of hopelessness, but there's so much going on here. It's not just beat down hardcore, it's jazz rock, it's a bit mathy in sections. Um, you've got one of the catchiest metal choruses of the year. I dream of a cleansing wave. I return to form. Blah blah blah. I keep messing up every single quote. People are gonna think that I've not actually listened to any of these songs. I'm just tired. But really good, and captures this grief and loss of faith that the band were going for perfectly. A lot of lyrical moments that I really enjoy on here too. Speaking of lyrical moments, there's one artist who I think has a case for having a better year than Kendrick Lamar. And yeah, she had a number of songs that could have made it to this list. Whether looking at the fun, easily replayable 360, the nuanced and incredibly vulnerable yet anthemic Sympathy is a Knife, the soaring Von Dutch, the deeply potent Girl So Confusing, or even I Think About It All the Time. I eventually narrowed it down to So I by Charlie XCX in at number 5. Shit, man. Just thinking about this song is messing me up. This song comes in the middle of one of the most fun, bouncy dance pop albums I've ever heard, and totally rips me to shreds emotionally. It is one of the most beautiful tribute songs I've ever heard. It speaks about Charlie XCX's relationship with Sophie, but not in like a retrospective, like, oh, I loved you, blah blah blah, sort of perspective. It's more from a deep place of regret within Charlie. You can feel every sort of moment lost between them here, and that's what she talks about, while referencing numerous Sophie songs throughout, and it's just really amazing stuff. Even if they've not necessarily died, just people I've grown apart from, I deeply relate to the lyrics here, and it's really good. Number 4, we're going to pick the mood right up with Holy Holy by Jordy Griep. This song could have been number 1, but the top 3 here, like, this was what was hard with the list, was settling this top 4 into an order. Jazz rock again, sensing a theme, but with elements of funk music, disco music, just so much going on here. Maybe my favorite bridge of the year. It's just absolutely insane. This instrumental is wonderful, and Jordy Griep tells the story of a strange man, I guess, over the top of it. Just really, really good. Holy, 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 holy. It's so good. Yeah, amazing song. So big, so grandiose. Speaking of big and grandiose, but also deeply unsettling to an extent, we're going to have The Wallflower Equation by Violet Pony. Violet is an artist I discovered this year. Well, not really. I'd heard a couple of its songs before this year, but none of them were like this one. This is a 13-minute long epic, and it's just so good. I don't normally like prog music, but this song takes it in a completely different direction. There's so many parts and moving pieces to this song that I really love. Whether you're looking at the spoken section where her voice quivers under this atmosphere that totally buries her, and it's incredible, or a more post-rocky section, or even the Americana influence at the end. There's so much here. It all centers around this one melody, do 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 do, and that has been living with me since this song came out. Really good. Speaking of really good, very few songs captured the adrenaline and the hype that this song captures, and that is going to be Running by Fat Dog. I have sung this album and this band and this song's praises all year. You should have seen this coming. Just beautiful music. Well, not beautiful, but really hard hitting, amazing music. The Fat Dog's blend of EBM, industrial, dance music, and elements of synth punk and stuff, and dance punk, all come together into this perfect meld on this song, and it is so good. The final drop at the end of this is truly one of the biggest goosebumps moments in music this year, I believe. But not number one. I think people will know what number one's going to be because there is a glaring hole in this list. Where are Magdalena Bay? Well, they're at number one with Death and Romance, the best pop song and the best song of the year. I could have gone with a number of songs from their new album as well. Really solid stuff, not to spoil my albums list. But this song's blend of disco, progressive pop, art pop, atmosphere work, and almost psychedelic elements is incredible. From the moment those very sort of bright keys come in, it's such a thick sound and such a rich sound present on this song, and yeah, it totally bangs. There's so much groove to this song. The chorus is really catchy, even if it's a bit repetitive. It's really nice, and the lyrics are really interesting, as with any other Magdalena Bay song. But that will conclude my best songs of the year list. It's not the only video coming out tonight though, so stay tuned for those later. Yes, I said those. Yeah, we're getting all this done before 2025, baby. If you liked this video, please do consider leaving a like. If you are into music discussion YouTube, please do consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean a lot. Comment down below what your favorite song of the year is, maybe even like a top 5. Be sure to check out my worst songs of the year list if you haven't already, which came out last year now. But again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye!